Hey guys, it's Pia here, and today I'm going to show you 10 new customs that I completed recently. So, here we go. So first off, we have my remake of my Earth Elemental custom, and when I said that I completed these recently, I was lying because this one was done back in January of this year. As you can see, it looks very similar to the original one. It's just a little bit smaller, and the base is obviously one of the newer LPS. Here's a side-by-side comparison of both of them. I made some small changes to the design, like I tried to simplify some of the things that I'd done with the original one, like I took the cracks away and I simplified the color scheme a little bit, and I also decided to make this stone thing on the side of the face a little bit smaller. But other than that, I think they're very similar, and I actually really like how the remake turned out. Next up, we have a little cat with glass eyes. I call this one Dreamy. The inspiration for this one was just to make it really sweet and over the top and just put as much detail into it as I wanted to, because between this one and the last one, there was a lot of time, and I don't know, when I got back into painting, I really wanted it to be for me and for fun. So I decided that more is more, as usual. So that's why I made this one. Then we have this little puppy that I call Lovey. This one and Dreamy are a pair, and I also wanted it to match the design of Dreamy, but with pink tones instead. This one, as you can see, has a really similar design to Dreamy, so lots of little stars and hearts, and I think they're very cute together. And here's another custom that is in the more is more category. This one doesn't have a name really, but I struggled for a really long time after I decided to make it into a mermaid, and I couldn't come up with any sort of color scheme or anything to inspire me. But then I just decided to paint anything that made me really happy, so I came up with this design with these really bright colors. And for some weird reason, these flowers on its ears, even though that doesn't really suit the mermaid theme, but I don't know, it doesn't matter. For me, it was just about making sure that I had fun while painting it, and I hope it shows. I really love how it turned out, even though it's a little over the top. Now to something even more over the top. I don't know how that's possible, but this one is a little custom that was inspired by my previous customs, Yuki and Honey. You might remember them. If not, I made them ages ago. And as you can see, it's a head swap, so it has a corgi head and a Dalmatian body. And I sculpted this base ages ago. I just didn't know, again, what to do with it. I didn't know how to paint it. So I decided to just do the thing that I do, which was have fun and put everything into it. For some reason, I decided on this rainbow theme, and I thought that it would be really fun to put these details on the wings that look like branches, along with the colors. Obviously, add a whole bunch of glitter to that, and then you have another over-the-top custom that I love. Now for something a little more restrained, which is kind of surprising, I suppose, at this point in the video, but I decided to go back and finish my customs that belong to the environmental or biome collection. So this one is a little cat. It was inspired by a mountain biome. I looked into lots of different animals that live there, and I decided that I wanted it to have these neutral colors. And the eyes, as always, as with any customs with glass eyes that I make, except one that I specifically said is made by me, all of the eyes are made by Pumpkins Customs. The eyes on this one I think are absolutely magnificent. I told her to make them purple and detailed and dreamy and interesting and mysterious, and I think she really did. Now here's a tiny thing that I need to say about these glass eye customs that you're going to see with a lot of the other ones that I'm going to show you. I didn't know this, and I'm not sure anyone here knew about this, but if you leave a glass eye custom in sunlight, its eyes will start to get yellow, which is why the right eye on this one is slightly more yellow than the one on the left side, and you're gonna see some extreme examples of that coming up. So just as a PSA, don't leave your glass eye customs, or actually resin eye customs, in direct sunlight, otherwise they're gonna turn yellow. Next up, we have this slightly more simple custom, yet it still has tons of details. This one I call Moon Tier. It's just a very cute Timberwolf base that I just painted, and of course the eyes were made by Pumpkins Customs. As always, they just inspired me to make something really ethereal and night sky looking. So I hope you guys like it as much as I do. Then we have a really unfortunate but extreme example of what can happen if you leave your glass eye custom in sunlight. So this one, actually already before I painted it, I had the base just standing on my desk, and then I looked at it and I saw that the previously gray eye turned into this sort of golden yellow eye. So this was not on purpose at all, but I thought I'd just go with it because I think the eyes are still beautiful and I think I can work with it. So this custom is another one of the environmental customs. This one belongs to the tundra biome. As you can imagine, because the tundra doesn't have a lot of grass and stuff like that, it's usually quite barren. Most animals there are gray. So for this one, I also chose a very monochrome color scheme. Then we have another biome custom. This one belongs to the deep sea biome. For this one, I actually really wanted to do some sort of anglerfish thingy antenna on its head, but I didn't have the chance to sculpt anything. So I just decided to keep it really simple and really let the eyes stand out. So when I asked Pumpkin to make these eyes, I told her that I wanted them to be really dark, but then with some sort of thing in the middle that looks like far off, distant light. And I think that they turned out exactly like that. So the rest of the color scheme is just inspired by the eyes, and I thought I would let them stand out by keeping it simple. I also chose a really light skin color because most animals that live in the deep sea are usually translucent or very, very light. And then finally, we have my custom that was inspired by the volcano biome. This one, I didn't even know what animals would live in this biome, so I googled it and I found this really weird bird called a vampire finch, which is quite disturbing actually. These birds pick on other birds and suck their blood. So that wonderful bird inspired this creation. If you look up a picture of the vampire finch, then you'll see that its head is gray and it is a little bit lighter brown below on its wings and on its legs. So I thought, let me get inspired by that and do something that's similar. I also thought that the little dots on its body kind of look like ash that has fallen on its fur. So I think it turned out really, really cute and interesting. And the eyes, as I've already mentioned 1,000 times, were made by Pumpkin's Customs. And I think they're super cool because something in them makes it so that it almost looks like they're burning. I kind of feel like it looks like there's a fire in them. So I think it's super, super cool. Hope you guys think so too. By the way, all of these customs will be for sale at some point in my Etsy shop. There's a link in the description of the video. The only exception to this is the Earth Elemental custom that I'll be keeping for myself, but all the other ones will go up on Etsy as soon as possible. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I hope you got inspired by my creations. Until next time, bye bye!